are so happy to have you back for another episode of Morning Movers. Eldridge is going to be demonstrating a game called Invested Object. And now, Eldridge, I know you know the rules backwards and forwards, but just for everyone following along at home, I'm going to share what Joyce Piven has to say about the game. For Invested Object, a player is to think of a real object, something that belonged to someone else but that the player now has. Preferably, the object should have some meaning for the player. For example, the player could choose an object like their grandfather's watch, given to them before he died. The player is to share the object, now imaginary, by describing its physical qualities: weight, shape, size, color, texture, smell, temperature, until the imaginary space transforms into the object that the player is holding and showing to the camera. Watch as Eldridge describes all of the physical characteristics of his chosen object, and then pay careful attention as he starts to layer in history and story, and we learn more and more about the object and his relationship to it.
Let me see if I can think of any invested object. Oh, so I've got the perfect one. So ironically enough, sitting beside me is a little wooden chest that I like to keep on the top of my dresser in my room. This is for the most part a keepsake little dresser. It's mahogany wood with 4 pointed corners, almost in the shape of a rectangle. There's if you can see it, a tiny golden hatch that lifts up, and then you can lift the lid and see what's inside. I'll demonstrate what's inside here. Right on top, laying on top inside the little chest, is actually a $5 Canadian bill that I got from a theater trip in Canada. This was such a good time and such a fun little keepsake to keep in my little treasure chest. Next up, we're gonna take this Harry Potter stub ticket out. I think this was for part 2 of the final movie. Now, here is where we really get to the good stuff. My dad, who passed away a little while ago, has some of his things in there, his bracelets, necklaces, keychains. So I'm gonna take one out right now, and wow, I forgot how big his wrist was. So this is almost a pattern-linked silver chain that, if I can put this treasure chest down, you can see that it's kind of held together by a little silver clasp that you can wear around your wrist. Of course, I'm not gonna attempt to put it on because it might just fall off. But yeah, this was one of his favorite bracelets, I remember. And let me see what else I can pull. Oh, so this, I'm gonna put my chest down again. This is his Kappa Alpha Psi keychain, or not keychain, but a main piece that you would attach to a necklace. If you see the little silver circle thing at the top there, the letters are stacked on top of each other, K, A, and then Y, but almost in the shape of a pitchfork, because that was the Noop symbol for Kappa Alpha Psi then. Gold lettering, still very shiny and polished, almost as if it was never worn. Yeah, so that's a very sentimental keepsake that I like to keep in there. And the last thing in this little treasure chest is a flexible ring, as weird as that sounds, but in this I can actually probably put on. Instead of a standard stiff ring, this almost adjusts to the size of your finger. Again, silver color, looks a little worn around the edges, almost has like if you look really closely, almost like a chain link pattern to it, but I think it looks pretty nice, don't you think? I'm gonna take that off, and yeah, very flexible. Like I said, it can stretch out. as big as your finger is, or it can form fit to as skinny as your finger is. So yeah, that is my little keepsake treasure chest, and I'm going to put all of my things back in there. Movie stub, my little $5 bill. Close the clasp, and voila, my invested object.
We would like each of you to talk to someone in your life, a family member or a friend, and ask them about an object that means a lot to them. See if they can describe the physical details of this object: the size, the shape, the weight, the color, the texture, the temperature, the smell, the taste. And then invite them to share just why this object is so important. Invite them to tell the story of this object. We can't wait to see you again soon. And in the meantime, stay safe and stay creative.